life. Are you in good hands? Contact George Gray, Allstate Insurance today for a free quote.
Need a new shop, garage, or other unique space? Explore post-frame building kits from Best Buy Metals. Best Buy Metals kits utilize steel trusses for the ultimate in strength and durability. When you need it to last, call Best Buy Metals. Stop by or visit bestbuymetalroof.com for your custom structure.
We expect our information in real time. U.S. Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. U.S. Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as, that's 888-665-0696.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
From the Kia of Cleveland studios, this is ESPN Cleveland 1013, WCLE HD2 Cleveland, W267BI Cleveland, ESPN Cleveland 1013.
The top of the hour is presented by Best Buy Metals, making the top of your house the best it can be. Visit bestbuymetalroofing.com.
It's time for The Drive on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardees. We will bring you nonstop sports news from the national and local scene and everything in between. So buckle up and join in on the conversation. It's The Drive.
Don't take no slap.
Welcome into The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. Of course, The Drive presented by Hardees. Hope everyone out there is having a good Thursday afternoon. I am Jim Gum, and we are having a truncated show today. We're going to be going about a half an hour today, leading up to Lee versus Delta State. The tip of the ladies' game begins around 5:30, and then the men after that, around 7:30-ish or thereabouts. Philip Tang and George Starr will be bringing that to you today. We also will be talking to Walker Valley's head basketball coach, Will Campbell, around 5:10, somewhere around there. Obviously, he is the co-district coach of the year, along with Howard Pride. Of course, we talked to Coach Pride yesterday here on The Drive. But we're going to try to get as much stuff in today as humanly possible. But, like I said, we've only got a half-hour show, so we can only get so much stuff in. I do want to start off, though, with SEC basketball. Man, if you're a basketball junkie and you enjoy the college game, last night was a great night if you're an SEC basketball fan. There were some great games last night. By the way, there are only 5 games left for all 16 teams. So Florida currently leads the SEC with an 11-2 record. You got 3 teams tied at 9-4. That's Alabama, Arkansas, and Tennessee. So there is still a chance that the Vols could find a way to catch the Gators. But, boy, the way the Gators are playing, I don't see them losing 2 of their last 5 games. But you never know. I guess we'll just have to wait and find out. Last night in the SEC, Missouri defeated Vanderbilt 81-80. What was interesting about that is that Missouri had a 4-point lead. Vandy hits a 3-pointer with like a couple seconds to go in the game. They throw the ball deep down the floor, but not deep enough. Vanderbilt actually intercepted the pass, and a half-court shot came within inches of going in, which would have given Vanderbilt a dramatic win, but it did not, and Missouri holds on for an 81-80 victory. In double overtime, the game of the night, probably the game of the year in the SEC, Alabama beat Arkansas 117-115. I mean, it was a great, great game. But the Crimson Tide they do hold off Arkansas in double overtime. Texas A&M defeated Ole Miss 80-77. Mississippi State beat Auburn 91-85, but the big blowout win last night, Tennessee just took it to Oklahoma 89-66. This game was never in doubt. Tennessee led this game literally from the start to the finish. Oklahoma was never truly in that game. So a great night of hoops if you're a big SEC basketball fan. And like I said, 5 games left for all 16 SEC teams. So we'll have to see what happens over that span. But I do like Florida's chances to be in the number 1 seed in the SEC tournament once the regular season does come to a close. I do want to give you an update on the winter games. The U.S., I guess you call them Team USA women, defeated Canada 2-1 in overtime to win the gold medal. That game was earlier today. So that, gives the United States their 8th gold of the games. And they still trail Norway. Norway has 34 total medals, 16 gold, 8 silver, 10 bronze. Italy and the United States are tied with the 26 total medals. However, Italy has 9 gold. The United States has 8. Italy has 9 gold, 5 silver, and 12 bronze. The United States has 8 gold, 12 silver, and 6 bronze. Now, that was today. That was Team USA women defeating Canada. Tomorrow afternoon, you've got the men, Team USA men, also taking on Canada for the gold medal. So that'll be interesting to see if Team USA can sweep Canada in both the women's and the men's and, bring home the gold. I know this is going to sound nuts, and I'm an American, but it wouldn't hurt my feelings if Canada wins the gold medal in hockey. Listen, that's their sport up there. I mean, hockey ranks 5th, maybe. Well, I guess 4th, maybe. I would say that football number 1, baseball number 2, basketball 3 here in the States, with hockey 4. I guess you can make a little bit of a case for soccer, but I'm talking about team sports, by the way. In Canada, there's no question. Hockey is their number 1 sport there. So, I want the United States to win. But if the hockey crazy country like Canada comes away with a gold, not going to hurt my feelings. One of the big things going on this coming weekend that really hasn't been discussed at all, and it goes back to college basketball. If this was a football weekend coming up, we'd be going nuts because we got 2 versus 4 and we got 1 versus 3. If this was, like I said, college football, people would be going nuts. But unfortunately, college basketball gets, I'm not going to say other sports take the limelight over them, but it does. I mean, the ESPN is all about the NBA. Even the NHL probably gets more love from ESPN than college basketball. But Michigan, number 1 Michigan, takes on number 3 Duke at the Edward Jones Capitol Showcase in Washington, D.C. at 6:30 on Saturday. Interesting thing, these schools haven't met since 2013. This will be a national championship game preview, just like it was back in 91 and 92. Of course, back then, Michigan had the Fab Five. Of course, Leitner and Hurley and all those guys were with Duke. But this is a great matchup for the Wolverines taking on Duke. So I'm very, very much looking forward to this. Now, another big story that's going on in the world of football is that the state of Indiana unanimously passed a bill to try to lure the Chicago Bears away from Chicago. The Bears' endeavor for finding a new stadium took a meaningful step forward today, opening the door for the franchise to leave Illinois to potentially build a new dome stadium in Northwest Indiana. Indiana lawmakers in the House Ways and Means Committee unanimously approved an amendment to Indiana State Bill 27 by a vote of 24-0 today that would clear a path for the Bears to build a stadium in Hammond, Indiana, which is just right across the state line. And it's like 20 miles from Chicago, so it's not like it's majorly out of the way, but technically it would be in the state of Indiana. Hammond, by the way, interesting story here. The NFL has its roots in 1920, And there was a lot of franchises back then that don't even exist today. In fact, like the Chicago Bears were called the Decatur Staleys. But there was another NFL team back then called the Hammond Pros. And yes, they played in Hammond, Indiana. So if Indiana and Hammond does get the franchise, this wouldn't be the first time the NFL has played games in Hammond, Indiana, because in 1920 they did. Now, that being said, and I have no way of knowing this, I have a feeling the Bears will find a way to stay in the state of Illinois, and I think they'll construct that new dome stadium in Arlington Heights, Illinois. I believe that because I think the Illinois, they've been debating on some things going on. They were supposed to meet today, the Illinois House, but it got postponed. They're supposed to meet tomorrow. I have a feeling this news coming from the state of Indiana will get their attention, and I think you'll see the state of Illinois commit to building the new stadium there in Arlington Heights, which is, like I said, just west of Chicago. It's maybe the same distance, maybe even a little less than Hammond, Indiana. So we'll find out tomorrow probably that the state of Illinois is going to fight to keep their Bears. Listen, it's not like we don't see this in other places. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys haven't played in Dallas since 1971. That's when they moved to Texas Stadium. Of course, now they play in Arlington. The New York Jets, the New York Giants, they don't play in the state of New York. They play in New Jersey. They play in East Rutherford, New Jersey. So it wouldn't be the end of the world. But, boy, I think there's a lot of people up there not happy with the governor and the mayor of Chicago up there in the Windy City. I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Walker Valley's head basketball coach, Will Campbell. You're listening to The Drive, presented by Hardees, here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
Good morning. This is your Hardees 2 for $5 breakfast mix and match alarm. We've got fluffy eggs and sausage on a made-from-scratch biscuit ready. Or perhaps biscuit and gravy. Ooh, maybe a sweet cinnamon roll. Wake up and smell that sweet deal. Mix and match any two for just $5 for a limited time. Only at Hardees. Don't snooze on the app. Snag juicy deals, order ahead, and get to work on time. Maybe. Exclusive app offers for registered My Rewards members only. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Did you twist an ankle? Hurt your shoulder? Or maybe that weekend project left you with more than sore muscles? Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is here to help. Our urgent ortho walk-in clinic in Cleveland is open Monday through Saturday, treating sprains, strains, fractures, and more. No appointment needed. There's no need to drive to Chattanooga for expert orthopedic care. Call, schedule online, or walk in today and get back to moving pain-free. Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. The Center for expert care right when you need it.
Cleveland, the all-new Select Flooring and Remodeling is now open at 5555 North Lee Highway. We carry the top flooring brands you know and trust: Mohawk, Shaw, Engineer Floors, and United Weavers. We also specialize in home remodeling and roofing, delivering quality you can count on. Take advantage of 24 months interest-free credit. Come see us Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturday, 9 to 2. Call us today at 423-889-3007. That's Select Flooring and Remodeling, 5555 North Lee Highway, Cleveland. From the floors to the roof, we've got you covered.
When an emergency happens, every second counts. That is why Park Ridge Health System is working to bring a new, high-quality, 24/7 freestanding emergency room right here to Cleveland. This ER will expand access for families in Cleveland and Bradley County, and it will give Polk County something it doesn't have today: dependable, around-the-clock emergency care. Together, we can make it happen. Visit ParkRidgeClevelandER.com to learn more and add your voice in support. That's ParkRidgeClevelandER.com.
ESPN Cleveland 101.3 is powered by Duracell.
Text us at 423-749-1013 on the Warren and Griffin text line. Cleveland's personal injury attorneys.
Cleveland Tire Center having a huge sale on Goodyear tires. Buy 3 Goodyears, get 1 free. Don't forget the Cleveland Tire Center service department for alignments, oil changes, and more. Cleveland Tire Center, 4699 North Lee Highway, where the name says it all. Goodyear, more driven.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Mayfield Dairy Chocolate Milk is a great recovery drink for athletes or anyone who exercises. Rich in calcium and vitamin D, get Mayfield's famous chocolate milk at multiple locations near you. Find out more at mayfielddairy.com. And, of course, joining us right now on the Volunteer Ridipest phone line is Coach Will Campbell, Co-District Coach of the Year, along with Howard Pride of Cleveland. Coach, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I appreciate you guys having me on today.
Oh, absolutely, man. We're excited to be. We're excited for your team. But the first question I have for you: where has your team improved the most since the beginning of the season?
It's a really veteran team of guys that have played a lot of games, and so I just think just trying to, be consistent, show up every day and be consistent, I think has been something that they've really worked on. And, I don't know, just the way they go about their business, I think has really just kind of been a growth for us over the season. Just, even though they've played a lot, it's just fun to kind of watch them develop that sort of, I guess, mentality throughout the year. I guess that's probably it. And just, also, I think some of our execution has gotten a little better throughout the season. I don't think we executed great early on, and we've gotten a lot better down the stretch, just offensively and defensively, just executing some things.
How is the health of your team right now?
We're pretty good. Zach and Turner both got a little banged up in that chat prep game, the last game of our season on last Friday. So Zach will miss this first game, tomorrow's game. He won't play, and then he may miss the whole district tournament, just an ankle, and he'll be okay though going into the region tournament. Turner's good. We got Wyatt back now, who had the wrist surgery, so he played in the chat prep game, was his first game back, but he'll be full strength now. So we're really, other than Zach's little, we're kind of nursing that ankle a little bit, just try to get him healthy for the region tournament. But other than that, we're good. We're 100%. So.
Is there a game that stands out this season for you personally that maybe you thought, hey, maybe this team's a little bit better than even I thought? Is there a game that kind of stands out to you?
I don't know that there is a game necessarily. I mean, we've had some really tough ones this season. I think our schedule's been pretty hard all the way throughout, and so I just think there's not one particular one. I do think that what I think that's different about this team as opposed to like last year's team, which was a lot of the same guys, or even previous Walker Valley teams, is that we don't have to shoot it well to win games. And we've had several games. I mean, the Father Ryan game was one that I can think of off the top of my head. That was against a really good team that we didn't shoot the ball well. We still find ways to just manufacture points other way. I mean, even chat prep game on Friday, we didn't shoot it well, really. I mean, where last year we'd have to hit 8, 9, 10 threes in some of those games, and now we can hit 2 or 3 or 4 threes and still find other ways to generate offense. So that's the biggest difference, I think, with this team for me, is just their ability to score in different ways.
Talking to Coach Will Campbell here from Walker Valley. Coach, what is your basketball story, your background? Where did you begin, and how did you end up at Walker Valley?
Yeah, so I'm from Atlanta. Originally, I played high school ball in Atlanta. Didn't go on to play college ball. Had some different opportunities at some smaller places around Atlanta, and just ended up going to Lee, not playing basketball there. And then when I started teaching, started at Brainerd. Actually, my first year teaching was at Brainerd High School, and I was going to coach down there with Coach Robert High, legendary Coach High down there. Ended up getting a job at Walker Valley after 1 year at Brainerd, and instead of coaching there, I was able to get in with Coach Bob Williams. His first year hired at Walker Valley was my first year at Walker Valley too, and he hired me on as his freshman coach. And then I was with him for 10 years as an assistant, and when he retired, was fortunate enough to get the head coaching job. So just kind of worked my way into it that way. But yeah, like I said, played high school ball, like successful program down there, but just didn't pursue it beyond that. But always loved the game and wanted to, coach and get into that side of it, and really just blessed, honestly, in a lot of ways. A lot of it's just how you can get your foot in the door, and but to be able to work with Bob for all those years and learn so much from him and David Tucker and guys like that, just kind of cut my teeth on it with a lot of those old school guys.
Yeah, you talk about some of those guys. You talk about Coach High. Is there one guy that maybe had the most influence on the way you coach?
Well, obviously Bob Williams, probably the biggest, because I was his assistant for 10 years, and we won and lost a lot of ball games together, and so just watching him go about his business and not just coaching, but just everything else that goes with it, and how you treat people and treat players, and what's important, what's not important, and he was definitely the biggest influence on me. But you take little bits and pieces from everybody that you come in contact with, and even now, like guys that I call and talk to a lot, you're still. I'm still figuring out. The only thing I know now that I've been coaching as long as I have is I don't know very much. So I just, I try to just keep learning and growing, and I call coaches all around still. Sammy Perkinson at Meggs and John Tucker at Polk and Wes Lambert at Maryville, and just call. I got guys that coach in the college that I'll call and just constantly trying to figure this thing out, man, because like the longer you do it, the more you realize that you really don't know what you're doing.
Let me ask you, what's your opinion about the transfer rule in the state of Tennessee?
Yeah, I think it's coming. Obviously it's going to be something that's going to stay around. I think that it's just going to become whether they can legislate it properly, like that's going to be the issue. I think transfers is fine. I think it needs to be, hey, if you want to transfer one time or multiple times, I think it needs to be in the summer when we're not in school. I don't think it needs to happen during the school year. I think that puts programs and coaches in kind of a bad spot when a kid can just leave mid-season or preseason. You're playing, especially basketball. You're planning on having them, and all of a sudden beginning of November, they're gone. And puts you in a bad spot. And but I think it's okay if I think it's something that's going to happen regardless. I think if they can legislate it, maybe it can clean up some of the behind the scenes stuff that's probably been going on for a lot of years anyways.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. The shot clock, the state of Tennessee does not have one. Would you like to see a shot clock in Tennessee? Yeah, personally, I would love it. I just think it prepares kids for the next level. They're going to see a shot clock at the next level, and if, that's what we're teaching them a lot of things through the game, but one of those things is to help them move on to the next level and get an education. And so I think it helps with that. And I think there's a lot of cool things you can do coaching-wise when you're able to use a shot clock and kind of use that to your advantage. On the flip side of that, I've won a lot of games, 2 minutes left in the game, up 3, and we're going to, take the air out of the ball. And, so that kind of goes away. But I just think that's the way the game should be played, and it's a better brand of basketball all the way around, I think. So I'm for it, but we'll see how that – I think in the next few years we'll get the shot clock. Yeah, I was wondering if you'd heard anything about that, because I've heard for the last 5 years, it's coming. Well, here it is 5 years later, and we still don't have it. So,
yeah, there's been a little bit of a regime change there at TSSAA as far as the head honchos, and that sort of thing. And I think they're probably a little more pro shot clock than the previous guys. So I'd expect maybe within the next couple years we'll start implementing it on a trial basis, and I'd say 3 or 4 years from now we'll have it in full force.
Coach, I got 2 more questions for you before we let you go. Do you have an all-time favorite basketball player?
An all-time favorite?
Yep.
I don't I mean, Jordan, I think is the GOAT. I mean, Michael Jordan, I can't ever go away from that. I love Larry Bird. You know, growing up and all the battles like him and Magic had. I mean, I love the guys now. Like Jokic is my favorite player now.
Yeah, me
I love
too.
watching him play.
Me too.
How he plays. Steph Curry, you know, even LeBron, Kobe, all those. I just appreciate all their greatness. You know, they're great in different ways, but they're all great. And I think you can take a lot from all those guys.
All right, Coach, final question. Walker Valley makes it to the Glass House in Murfreesboro if, and then complete the sentence.
I mean, if some things go our way, that's always the way it is, I think. You know, like the ball's got to bounce the right. I don't care. I mean, I think we have a really good team, and I think we have a legitimate shot to make a run and get there and even win some games there this year. But you still got to have stuff go. The ball's got to bounce your way a time or two, you know, because everybody's trying to win, and winning is hard at this point of the season. So, you know, I think if we can keep our head on straight and handle our business and play the way that we want to play and pace the game the way we'd like to control it, we have a really good shot, you know. Now, if all that stuff happens, like I said, a lot of stuff's got to go our way. But I like our chances. So. Well, Coach, man, listen, first off, congratulations on your Co-District Coach of the Year award, and good luck on the rest of the season. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. Thanks for having me on today. No problem. Coach Will Campbell, the head coach of Walker Valley, appreciates him coming on with us, and he's got a heck of a basketball team out there. And if you've not made any plans, go down tomorrow night, check them out. They'll be playing down there at Ooltewah. We'll see who they're playing tomorrow, but I like their team. That's a good basketball team they've got there at Walker Valley. We've only got We only got about 2 more minutes left in this show. My goodness, it's flying by. Interesting situation going on with Diego Pavia and his NFL prospects. On the latest episode of Triple Option, NFL draft analyst Todd McShay delivered a harsh assessment of Pavia's NFL future. He says, I'm not drafting Pavia in the NFL. I'll be shocked if he's an NFL starter, McShay said. I don't even know how much value he has as a backup, if I'm being completely honest. He says, but he's a good football player, and it's hard to say that because I have so much respect for what he did in the SEC and the way he overcame what he had to overcome. I don't know if about the UFL. Would he play in the spring league, the UFL? But I hate the fact that this might be the end of his career because he's a really good football player. And I've been saying the same thing. If you've listened to this show any, and you know what I say about quarterbacks, I want my quarterbacks to be big, and I want them to be physical. That's why I like Josh Allen so much. Pavia's physical, but man, he is small. He is under 5'10". And yes, I know there are exceptions out there. You know, we've got the Drew Breeses of the world, but I just do not like the fact of having a quarterback that small. Kyler Murray comes to mind. Kyler Murray, when he came into the NFL, first round pick, I thought, man, this guy's awful small. I know he had a lot of success at Oklahoma and whatnot, but the NFL is a different animal than college football. And it's proven out. Kyler Murray is just not a great NFL football player, and his stats prove that out. He just is not what a lot of people thought he'd be. And I have a feeling that Diego Pavia would be in the same boat. Hey, listen, I hate that we got to go, but we're at the end of the show. We got to get ready for Lee University basketball as they take on Delta State. Philip Tang and George Starr give with the play-by-play. You've been listening to The Drive, presented by Hardees here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.